I am excited about channeling this most beautiful being, Queen Khalifa or Calafia, but I like Khalifa because she says it's Khalifa, but I think they have it two different words. The way that they have it, say on written form in the web when you search for it, is the way I typed it, Calafia, but it's Khalifa. She says it's really spelled K-H-A, no, K-Ka, yeah, Khalifa. So we'll make a note of that. Thank you. I am Rising Phoenix Aurora. Thank you for finding your way here. Make sure you watch this video all the way through. It's going to be so big and beautiful. I channel different benevolent beings from creation, and I've been seeing this beautiful goddess for years. Every time I would tap into Lemuria, probably actually since the beginning I started channeling, I always saw that that California was like Lumerian. It was all these magical, but I mean everywhere was Lemuria before the fall of Atlantis, but there was something really special about California, and one of the reasons why it's been targeted. So I'm excited to be able to unveil this for us today, and to allow for her beauty to communicate over to us. So today's going to be kind of a like an hour and a half video, but I never know. And the way it's going to go is that the first half I'm going to show you some data of maps, and then I'm going to go into channel and she's going to explain some of the maps that you saw and her story and what happened on this world, this side of the world, you know, the new world as they called it back then when it was discovered in the 1500s, when Yeshua released birth, veiled it. Watch, Yeshua just walked the earth, right? Yeshua walk, was it Yeshua, what's the title? Yeshua just I think
Yeshua
Yeshua.
just walked the earth.
Yeah, it was that title. Good. So you're going to watch that video to understand that further. So I do recommend that. This is another video to the Mayan Atlantean series that I have going on for years. The reason it is because we're going to learn more about this land and what happened, you know, during this time. So we learn from the Mayans and everything else that came before, right? Like Lemuria, Mu, that got us to this time space where we channeled Mayan part 1 and part 2. And now, okay, so then the invasion happened, right? The English came in. The English, or just basically men who were compromised by this dark virus that were controlled by this dark sorcery that came in and wiped out. If you think about it, like, what kind of men would wipe out, rape, kill children? It'd be men that really weren't men, right? Men who were possessed by something very, very dark, or you know, dark entities, aliens that are pretending to be men, or men on us under some dark sorcery, like skinwalkers, dark witches being in control of them. What kind of men could do this kind of stuff, you all? If you think about it, it's so disgusting. And thinking about how deep that violation was to this new world that you just discovered over here by the English. You just discovered this world because it unveiled for you. Because again, Yeshua's birth, and he explains that in that video. Yeshua just walked the earth. So now, like, what are you going to do with this land? What are you going to do? You're going to invade it, and like, you know, like that's not cool. But between that, like, okay, so what was this land like? What was the magic here? And so she's gonna explain that to us. It's gonna be glorious. I think I'll get it done in one video. We'll see. So thank you for being here. So in case you don't know who I am Rising Phoenix Aurora. I am known as a spiritual revolutionist, a galactic historian, a seer, an oracle. I'm an author. I am the author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe and Multiverse, and I have a new book which is so tremendous, The Lost Cities of Tartaria. You all have to go buy that, Barnes and Noble, in black and white, but I would suggest you buy it in color under Amazon. It's still on sale, you all. I had an option to print it in high quality color, and that's what I did, but it was pricier to do that, but it's so beautiful. I know there was a couple of you like that purchased the very first book, which I got the hang of this now. My apologies. It looks smaller print. So if you did purchase the smaller print, you all, this is what I recommend you do. Email me, risingphoenixaura@gmail. I am gonna give you a free copy, digital copy of book 1, just for the convenience. And I'm also gonna give you, if you wanna do it, come do a reading with me. You've been waiting? Half off, y'all. Come on, half off. So email me. I'll send you that coupon for the half off reading if you want it. and then buy it again, you all. This, the one with the smaller print, could be like a collector's item is what people are doing. And so buy another one. It is so worth it, you all. Someone just posted under my YouTube, they're like, worth every penny and more. They're like, every single book you put out, AuroRa, is like, it's I don't know what they said, but it's like gold, right? So yeah, the pictures are so beautiful. Look at how beautiful that is. So my apologies again if you bought the smaller print. It's all fixed. It was fixed within a week, but you probably bought it pretty quick. So thank you though for committing to that and buying it so quick. But yeah, hardcover, soft cover, digital. Let's go. Go to Barnes and Noble for black and white for that book, cheaper. But otherwise, color is definitely worth it. Under Amazon. Thank you, you all. I host workshops, retreats. My next workshop right now is in September. If you've been thinking of becoming AuroRa certified, you all, I have it $200 off, $7.99. Plus, you could use a 20% coupon. Why not? Join me live online. That's September 15th. The next one is in November. Let's go. Like, come get certified. I'd love to meet you. I have a roundtable coming up in probably in the next week or two, where we're going to have some practitioners, and then we're just going to overall just talk about like the enlightening things we talk about that are so enlightening and spiritually awakened. So check out that roundtable, and then you get to hear them and how incredible it is the way that you just like orbit yourself, your family, your spouses into higher space quantum physics. It's just so incredible. You all join my courses. Go to Rising Phoenix Mystery School to support everything I do, and my Patreon, Rising Phoenix Mystery School, any of our memberships. We're just started. We opened it up for the public, you all. Go to my newsletter so you get all this notifications, so you can go join any of our memberships there. Live Q&A, group regressions that I do online, so you can heal yourself with your higher self. I mean, there's so much beauty, you all. I'd love to see you there. And yeah, go aurapractitioners.com for Rising Phoenix Mystery School, where my school is at. It is incredible. We have over 700 students there. Come join us. And most of them just got a couple courses here and there, and then, you know, a good amount of them, about 90, 80 are 70 are current, very, very active. So I'd love for you to be active with us in the groups, chatting with us. Let's go, you all. It's so much to do, so much to do. You've been watching my videos, and some of this video also going to be part Antarctica Tartaria. So because we are going to be talking about some of those concepts as well. So go to my website, risingphoenixaurora.com. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Let's go. Thank you for allowing my infomercials, because I am some self-funded, and that's how I keep myself sovereignly and free. And I want to thank all the beautiful people all over the world who have assisted me for me to be self-funded through the courses and the sessions you signed up for. Thank you. I love you with all that I am. Let's go. Queen Khalifa, what's up, girl? What's going on? Tell me. Man, she's a bad A. The way that I can explain to you is that yeah, she is a gangster for sure, but in a positive way. So she's a bad A. Get out of her way, and she's going to explain all that. Oh my God. Okay, so so beautiful to be here with you. Usually start off with a song. What's this one? Okay, I didn't have a song ready for us today. All right, we'll go with this one. What's up? Dance with me. Won't you stay? Won't you stay? It's called Here We Go Again. Deuce Williams. It all feels brand new, but we know the truth. The choices that we make, it makes me and you. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. We can have it all. What is it all? get started, you all. So write your questions in chat. We have Claire, Circle of Light Healer, Crystal, Claire, Crystal, and Sophia. And she is there in chat. You can write the questions. She'll get them over to us, and hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Here we go. And we have Gina here. Gina, say hi. What's up? She'll be asking the questions when I'm in channel.
Hi everybody, I'm Gina. So excited today. I cannot wait to hear from Queen Khalifa. We've been waiting a little bit for her. It's so exciting, especially since after California and all the Tartaria information. Yeah, definitely go check out all the practitioners or become one yourself at aurapractitioners.com and all the amazing courses. Aurora was telling you about some of the Mayan classes and stuff a little bit, but the Egyptian courses, we are still doing Egyptian classes. Check those out. And just any of the classes of courses are just really incredible. So yeah, the aurapractitioners.com. Go find somebody who can assist you or assist yourself and your family. It's just really exciting. So I'm all jazzed up today too.
Woo! Yeah. I like it jazzed up. Cute. And this is a really cool book. I recommended it in my last video, which we talked about the giant lands of Lumeria. There's another video you can watch to understand this even further, where we talked about the details of California and its beauty of the now time space. And then we talked about it quantumly, how it connected to that, you know, the past, the magic to Lumeria. So the giant lands of Lumeria, check that out too, because this is part 2 to that, you can say. And then this book is really, really cute. I think it's good. It says 6+ and up, 6 children, 6 years and up. And it goes into, so it goes into a little bit of California, which is really nice. Basically, I'll let you read the story, but here's just a couple illustrations that you could look at. It's really nice. Even the author's really seems really good, because he's talking about like the main decoration. He's it's decorated with crystals. He says mother of pearl, the main decoration, amethyst, fire opal. I forgot where it says it there, but this like emblem here, he says it's decorated with crystals. See how he has like pearls there. So yeah, she's gonna talk about something to do with a pearl. I already got some of the information. Oh, right here, this, to see how it has crystals on it. He says that it embodies those crystals that I mentioned. Okay, malachite. And I like the whole storyline. It's cute. It's basically animals telling the story of California, and then basically the way the humans invaded, and you know, like that kind of crazy stuff that happened back then. And but also the way it's told, it's, you know, as it's nice, as nice as possible with, you know, the stuff that happened. But yeah, it's got some really beautiful illustrations. Okay. And then one of my favorites, absolutely favorite garden in the whole world is, where is it here? It's the underground gardens in California. Oh, before that, look at that, this image. How beautiful is that? Griffins. Ah, where are the griffins? Ah, we'll see. Let's see what she says. Something really important about history of California and even all Americas is that they did cut down the big trees. So they talk about that there, which is sad. And then, oh, they even talk about the World Fair, right here. World Fair. And the pigeon's talking about it, how he hangs out in the World Fair. That's so cute. And then where's the underground garden? Show you that. Right here, the fabulous underground gardens, which is, you'll hear it in Giant Lands of Lumeria video. 80 acres underground that he was only able to excavate, dig out 5 acres of it. Yeah. Ooh, my God, I'm already getting a preview to what she's going to talk about. Y'all, it's epic. Oh, okay. All right, so that's that. But let's go look at some maps really quick, because we do need to look at the facts, because once I'm in channel, I'm not going to be able to, like, you know, pull up images and facts for you. So let's look at that. Okay, so I have maps. I mean, it's interesting, right? When you're looking at the maps from back then, it's like, what happened? I mean, it doesn't, that's not how California looks like now. And those of you who are Californians, born California girls, I'm sure this means a lot to you, and boys, men and women, because something very special about California. It feels like, how can I explain California feels like? It feels like it is the leftover piece of Lumeria somehow. And the main reason why is because of the giant trees that still remain there, the 3,000-year-old sequoia trees and the redwood trees, all the giant trees. And even the giant trees that were cut down, like Yosemite, all those falls there, they're just really giant trees that were cut down that turn into waterfalls. Because the trees, like I talked about in Giant Lands, right? The trees burden the water, okay? So let me show you a video of that. So let me pull that up. So what's happening is, while I'm looking for the video here, so is that the trees basically, when you look at a waterfall, you're like, where's the water coming from, right? It's like the water is being portaled in from somewhere up there, right? Like up high there. It's like, what is it like being portaled in from the sky? Something's going on here, right? So when you look at trees, there's actual watering trees, and then people have talked about it through like different stories, and show you what's happening. So when you're looking at waterfalls, just think about this for a minute. Say we're looking at like the different Yosemite falls, right? And then there's water all the way at the top, and it's pouring rooms over it, right? And then like shooting down. It's like, how is this happening? It's because it's factually, energetically, it is a giant tree that is crystalline 5D there, and the water is technically quantumly portaling in through this giant tree. They couldn't cut down the 5D, so it's the giant tree trunk that we've been talking about over and over with the Antarctica Tartaria series is technically there. Do you understand? Let me show you a video. Okay, so we have to understand that to understand how did the island of California turn into not an island. Okay, so see how there's water coming out of a tree. This is just like a regular tree, you all. This is not like a giant, like sequoia tree or any of those trees. When we did the video of the lions, right? Look at that. Look at this one right here. Okay, let's just think about that for a minute. It's flat. One, it looks like a giant tree trunk. Why is there water portaling out of it? And this is a rainforest summit plateau. Again, more waterfalls. Okay, so you see this visual, understand this visual. Now picture, look at this tree. Wow, right? So picture that giant mountain or mound, whatever they call it now. And then see with your third eye. You will see that it is a crystalline giant tree that reaches the crystalline energy above us. And it's connected to the above. So then what's happening is that the waters are coming in through the crystalline energy above us into the giant trees. Whoa, Divine Mother just said that. Into the trees, and then the water portals in. And this is like fresh water. This is how we sustain our being. We need fresh water, right? We can't quite drink salt. Oh no, there's fly. We can't quite drink salt water, but fresh water we can. So then the trees are not only, you all, portaling in the oxygen through them, which is coming in through through it. Then they also portaling in fresh water into us through the waterfalls, which are giant trees. You guys understand what I'm saying? And then the water is coming in from, like Yeshua said in the Bible, the real stuff, not the fake Bible, where he said it was a firmament. The water's coming in from the above waters that are above us. That's why when they try to hit the rockets, there's like water. When they hit the rockets, try to break the crystalline energy above us. Oh my God. So the waters are coming in from above us and from the North Pole and from outside Antarctica. Again, read this book to understand what I'm talking about. So all these waters are coming in from everywhere, and we think it's portaling in, but it's really coming in from the universal water. So universal water's coming in from the waterfalls, from the giant trees that are crystalline there. Do you know how am I doing? Did I explain that good?
Yeah, that was incredible. So basically, the crystalline grid that is connected to the giant trees. So we found out that the oxygen was coming in through the trees and bringing us to consciousness, and now we know that it's portaling the fresh water in, just like from the fresh water from Antarctica. So that's incredible.
Yes. And then as you watch, we are in a, so people ask like, what are we? Is this flat Earth? Is it flat? Is it round? What is it? It's like both and neither. It's a plane of existence because we're in a crystalline simulation. So then if you think about it, so but energetically like crystalline, we're a toroidal. But then in a plane of existence, we're lands floating on these waters above and under, like you hear in some of those like Yeshua wrote in the Bible. So we're a toroidal. So then these giant trees are pulling in the energy of the ocean water above us into the field. And they are these toroidals. They're the cores of every toroidal. They're a toroidal itself. So are we, right? We're all toroidals. So then this energy, wow. You understand? So as many toroidals, every organic being has a toroidal sphere like this. This is part of the matrix. In book 2 and 3, we really talk about these like scientific understandings, and in our teachings too. Questions? Gina, were you gonna say something?
So no questions yet, but that's incredible. Well, we're thinking about the crystalline dome, and then you have the universal celestial waters outside of that,
Yeah.
and then that's what they're bringing in, the universal celestial water outside the dome.
Yeah. Which, by the way, again, I know I'm talking about this, and I gotta say that the elites in the Illuminati don't want you to know this. That's why they restrict the North Pole, Antarctica. They also don't want you to understand that it is a somewhat of a flat Earth, and that's why Obama and like he's not prime minister anymore, who or whatever from Canada. What was his name? I forgot his name. I deleted it. What's his name?
No,
What's his name?
Trudeau.
Oh, Trudeau, yeah. Justin Trudeau and Obama, like you watch their videos, they get pissed off. They get elated, so pissed off that like people are questioning our construct. And they know it because that's how astrology can only work like that, knowing that that's the way the stars spin around us. Anyway, so I'm not gonna align with them. I don't know about you, but I won't align with their craziness. I'm gonna question every which way, and I'm gonna keep connecting to my higher self to remote view. What does the construct look like? And this book tells you. Okay, so, okay. All right, we understand that? Okay, so now we understand the trees. That's gonna be an important part. Let's look at the maps. Okay, so, let's see. Now I have found so many maps that talk about California. We could be here for days, you all. Um, let's see. Doesn't have it. Okay. So let's look at this map. Which I can't remember what year it was. Gina, you might have to look back. I didn't save it. So if the person who shared it, let's keep that note for the future. Like what year was this one? So this is one of those old maps. I'm thinking anywhere from like 1500. I think it's actually one of the earliest known maps of America. So you see all these giant trees, right? Okay. Also, we're not quite in California yet. We're only up to here. So when you're looking at some of these old maps, you notice that they really are just kind of showing the right side of America. They're not going in. So you could actually find these maps under the Library of Congress. It's not something made up. It's actually factually logged there. So let me pull it up for you here. So let me pull some up for you that we could review. Here they are. Okay, so let's look at this map here that I found, Library of Congress website, okay? And this was illustrated, according to this, by Gutierrez Diego, 1562. I love it because, again, we're seeing the angels. They're not Nephilim and fallen angels, whatever. No, they're positive beings. Now we could go really deep into this, but you're seeing here some of the energies that are guarding these waters. You see that? These magical giant creatures. These creatures were the ones that were veiling and guarding Americas before it unveiled for them to come over. Okay? And I love that they're showing the animals, because what we talked about in our last video, you also want to watch that video. Which one was that one? Oh, the Avalon, the Return of Avalon. And we talked about how we're in two different worlds. And one of the main reasons is because you guys have elephants over there. We don't have elephants. You guys have tigers. We have mountain lions. You understand? You guys have giraffes. We have, what are big animals we have? We don't really have large animals over here like that. What's our largest animal over here? Just, I guess the cats, huh? Or bears. Bears. Okay,
We have buffalo. We have buffalo.
Buffalo. Oh yeah, buffalo bisons. Okay, so that, you know, your cats are way different than our cats. You have lions and tigers. We have panthers and all right. Okay, so two different worlds we're looking at, literally connecting, right? So this shows here the different world. Now everything's unveiling. There's data and books that are coming out that are basically explaining, and we're talking about, you know, our ancestors' books explaining like how we were venturing over to this world. And I'll show you a video that I found on TikTok. But look at these gods and basically of the water. Okay, this is Tierra de Pantógonos, which are basically giants there. Okay. And then again, what they're discovering over here is really amazing. Look at that. What is that? Venezuela. So that's supposed to be, I think, like Venezuela, but that's the way it really was spelled there. Castilla del Oro, which is basically, I don't know what Castilla is, but Oro is gold. Nova Anda, okay. Mar del Esver. Okay, so here we're entering the Pacific, here going over to the side. And then again, we're not seeing California yet because it gets unveiled little by little. They discover it. It unveils and discovers little by little. They discover it as it unveils, and is what I'm saying. Because you know those movies you watch where there's a fog? And you've heard it through tales like, don't go into the fog, you go crazy. I think one of our guides from Ireland was talking about that. Like, if you see the fog, you might go crazy. Oh yeah, he did talk about that. That is fact, that if you went into the fog and the fog got you, you'd get lost and go crazy. They might have not ever find you. So that is what I'm being shown by Queen Khalifa, is that there was a fog there and it pulled back as it was, you know, divine timing to do that, because we needed to basically unite the two worlds of our world and your world to assist your world to ascend out in, you know, in Europe, Asia. Okay. Now that's one quick map. Let's look at another one here. So this is another map from what is this one? Agnesa Batista, 1544. And then this is showing, again, look at just the bottom of Mexico, the top here. Seems like all water. What's going on? Did the portal in? And what is this over here? It's called Isla Maloque, Isle Maloke. Is that Hawaii? That's Hawaii. Interesting. Okay. See that? And then we're starting to see a little bit here of California, right? But there's still there's a body of water between California and the States, and I'll keep showing you how that works. Gina, let me know if you need to add any questions, comments before I move on to the next one. Pyramids.
Yeah, so going back to the one map that you uh, were looking at to begin with, it was called The Voyage of Francisco de Orellana map by
Yeah.
Antonio Pereira in
Yeah.
1546. The one before that, I believe,
Oh.
the one that
So
you
then this proves the theory of Yeshua just walked the earth, you all, that the lands were unveiled at his birth at 1500 when we found that map. The maps that say that he was born again in the Library of Congress at 1500. You all watch that video. So here we are. This is the discovery. They've unveiled it. The worlds have united. They're discovering it after his birth. You all, there it is. The data for you. It's not just about what I'm being channeling from Divine Mother and the benevolent beings. I mean, we have the data for you guys. Yeah. So it's 1500. You get it? So he's about 44 there. And what I can tell you is that so we've also found the mass right when he passes, when they crucify him, only because he allowed it at that point, because he was too powerful to really be caught. But it's 1633, he gets crucified. So he wasn't 33 years old, he was 133 years old. And when he gets crucified, between all the 133 years, guys, what did he do? So I am seeing him coming into these lands, and he is basically helping, especially in the 1500s. And when did it get dark, you all? 1700s, late 1600s, 1700s, right? Because when they discovered it in 1500s, for those of you history buffs, right? It was okay. It wasn't too bad yet. 1500s, we're going to 1600s because Yeshua was still alive. After he passed away, that's when they start slaughtering the indigenous, you all. Late 1600s, after 1633, going into 1700s, forget it. They're invading everything and killing and destroying all the indigenous tribes here. You understand? Because Yeshua wasn't there to protect the lands anymore. He had done what he needed to do. You know, his mission was done. He had prepared the two worlds for ascension in the future. You know, now it was up to the people, and they have free will regardless, right? Crazy. You all understanding this? Let me know. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I think it's all incredible. Everybody was just talking about how the trees, how that was incredible, that they're and fascinating, how they're portaling in the water and how they actually sustain us.
Yeah,
And it it's just really incredible.
truly, truly is. Here's another map from this kind of series, where it is 1544 again, and then there it is, beginning once more. Look at all the trees here. Now, it wasn't just to our Americas, North America, South America, who had these giant trees. And if you even think about it, the rainforest and the Amazon, right, in South America, it's still there. But, you know, they're always trying to target it and cut it down, or they've already, you know, they've cut a good portion of it down too. Okay? So this is why when you look at these maps, you're like, why are they just drawing out like just a beginning outline? Because it's being unveiled one step at a time. So we're looking at 1544. That means that Yeshua's 44 years old. And he's helping with the unveiling here. He's coming over here. And he knows, if watch again the Return of Avalon, because we found the maps where the real shape of your world in Europe and our world here in America are two dragons, y'all. One's female pregnant, one's a male gigantic divine father. They're two dragons. So then it was important that these two dragons, who were originally Pangea, who had been split, came back together. All right. So that's what we're seeing here. step by step. The unveiling is beautiful. Okay, next one.
Well, Aurora, from that last map, the
Yeah,
1544,
yeah, tell me.
somebody was saying that the V, you were looking at something that said V,
Uh-huh.
is actually a U. So the SVR is actually a SUR for south. So we're trying to figure out exactly which area they were talking about.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
the V's in here are actually
Oh, here?
U's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they already have Brazil written here. Look at that. Antarctica right here. This is Antarctica, how you could just walk down from South America into Antarctica and those lands. And then what year? Oh, so then, my God. So then the Urbano Monte map, we always reference you all, where it's a full circle. 17, what's the year of it? 1730? Gina? Oh, here, I'll pull it up and show it to you. So what we're seeing here with the Urbano Monte map is we're seeing everything unveiled between the two worlds. 1700s map, unveiled. See that? And so here's the connection here we were just looking at. And then the again, a map made by Urbano Monte. And these were made by pilots, you all. Most of them were made by pilots. And how to they were like illustrating and graphing and everything. Go ahead, Gina.
Urbano Monte map is 1570.
Oh, 1570. Why is it thinking 1700? Oh my God, 1570, you all. What? So then 1544, we're seeing the unveiling. 1570, it's already unveiled, both worlds, and they're unified, and the two dragons are together. I could show you the pictures of the two dragons, but watch that video to understand what I'm talking about here. Whoa, okay. Two dragons, boom. Female America's here, which is North America, and then Asia, Europe, male dragon. Beautiful, huh? Her head here, she's birthing, her wing goes here, wrapping around the male. The male's body, legs, head, his ears, his wings, look, his wings. I think his wings go into the Urbano Monte map, no? Yeah, interesting. Okay, all right, we're understanding, looking good. And just keep interrupting me, Gina, if questions, comments, as I keep moving on. Back to sharing the maps. Okay. So 1570. Wow. Okay.
Well, somebody said that the Insule Maloche means Maloche Islands where the trees are. There's big trees.
Which one? This one or?
I believe it's that one where the big trees are. It said something about
Mm-hmm.
Insule Maloche. I think we thought it was no Noloche, but it
I try to go
says
slower. I'm just trying to, like
yeah.
be here a long time, but and it's okay. You guys are cool with that?
Oh, she said the previous one.
The previous one. Okay, let me see.
There are two maps with big trees, so it's the other one with the big trees.
Zen, if you're listening, it'd be so cool if you get to fly out of here. I mean, I'd be really happy. Keeps landing on me. So let me see. So this one here?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean?
They're saying that it's actually the Maloche Islands where the big trees are. So let me look and see what the Maloche.
Yeah. And then your co-host, so you could share what you find on the Maloche while I keep talking. Thank you. Okay. So the next one here is, this one is in 1544 again, big year, 44, Yeshua's 44th birthday. And now we're getting more, see that? And then we're starting to see California here in this one. And then it looks like two tornadoes if you look at it. This is one tornado, this is another tornado, and they're unified at the center. Yeah, just looking to see here. This gotta be Hawaii again. Pyramids. Nothing really is written here. There's just we got Asia, Dragania. That sounds cool. What was Dragania at, Gina? Is that like India? What is Dragania?
Yeah, it looks like from that map it could be the Middle East into well no, I think India is a little further over, so maybe it could be more uh Italy, Greece type area.
Mm,
And then more further over would be India some.
yeah. And then these must be the Himalayan mountains. Okay.
And then it says Aria on there.
Mm-hmm. And there's the Nile, right? The Nile. Wow. But yeah, we'll stick over here because yeah, so I just want to show you guys maps of California, all right? So next one here.
Oh,
Uh, Go ahead.
someone just said it seems like um, there are two Red Seas, one at California and one at Egypt from the map.
That's right. Oh, so that's what that was there. They dried it out though. Hmm, you're right. Okay. And then this is a world map, two hemispheres, just showing two hemispheres, two different worlds again. And then this was in 1566, or yeah, 1566. We zoom in on it a bit. Again, you see these sea monsters. Ah, centaurs. Oh, this is the astrology signs are in there. That's pretty. You got Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius.
Oh, that's interesting. So that must mean that depending on that would be where the stars were located when they did the map.
Yeah. And so let's see how that goes. So Pisces, Aries, Taurus. What's that? Gemini. What's this one? Cancer. No, what's this? This is supposed to be Cancer. Oh yeah, the crab. Leo. Virgo. Uh-huh. Okay, okay. So then, if you're looking at this, it's spinning. Oh, and it's going like a spiral, like a double helix, like this, like a spiral, like up and down, like this, like a wave between both worlds, both hemispheres. Interesting. Okay. And then who's this? It's probably the wind god. And then remember, these are not eagles, they're phoenixes. The phoenix. Those statues we see everywhere in the Tartarian buildings are phoenixes. If they're there, make sure you connect to the phoenix. That's not just a phoenix statue, that would be an actual phoenix energetically there. Birds, bears. It's talking about, yeah, like every time we see those maps and animals, it's like, how? Like, wow, you know, the discovery of new animals. Both we discovering your animals and you discovering our animals. It's an ox, right? And lizard. Yeah. Okay. But this one, California, where is California here? There it is. It's always depicted separated. Its own island. Okay? Questions, comments there? That's the astrology. So there.
Yeah, somebody said it's interesting that it's showing the first non-astrology signs there. They said it's a really beautiful map.
Yeah. 9, huh? We were missing some. They were missing some? Because, yeah, it's 12, 13. Huh. That is interesting. So, seems like we evolved into the 12, 13, huh? What's it say? Parte del Mar Pacifica. Yeah, even back then it was named Pacific. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to focus on just the California lands, but yeah, that's cool. But what's going on here? This is up here,
I was just gonna ask, can we look at the north really quick? Just
right? Where we are remote viewing the North Pole, you all. Go to my Rising Phoenix Fish School for that. We're on like part 6. It's deep, and then Adam's been talking to us. It's information that is incredible. You know what? And I had a reading this week, which is so phenomenal. Which I need to. I added Adama to channel him with again, because okay, Adama, where were you when the fall happened? I started seeing where he was at, what he did to get all the people there. Like I started seeing like the whole history of him and saving the Lumerian people. It's epic, y'all. So we'll figure out how to channel that in one of our. But yeah, let's. So this is the North Pole, technically. What do we have going on here? What kind of animal is that? That's not an elephant. That's a different animal. That's the most it lets me go in. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
oh, speaking of animals, somebody said that the largest one they had in North America, they think is the moose.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. They are bigger than the bears. Thank you. I don't know what this is, unless it's supposed to be a bear. Close enough to a bear. Regio del Bacaglia. Don't know what that is. Canada. See. Wait, are we in California?
Well, somebody said on the map they saw something that looked like a camel in the South Pole.
Yeah. Oh, what? Okay. Try to control this thing. Cambia. What is Tibet? Okay, and then they thought they saw a camel at the bottom. Wrong one. See. Anyways, yeah. I'll keep going, guys, because I want to show you the California ones again. So here we got that one. Next one here is this one. Let that load. There's California again.
Oh, somebody said that whenever they were looking at the the sea in California on the other map,
Mm-hmm.
it said Mer Rouge, which means the Red Sea.
Mm,
So it was named the Red Sea there, and the two worlds, I guess the two worlds
yeah.
both had to have one.
Yes, that's what we talk about, right? We say how you have a Jerusalem, we have a Jerusalem, you have an Egypt, we have an Egypt, like our Egypt's Grand Canyon, right? So then that Red Sea is connected there to California. Wow, okay. So we're parallel Earths, basically, is technically factually what we are. We are parallel Earths to each other, Europe and Americas. So then we're going to have parallels alike, just like your big cats. We have big cats, but yours look, they look different from one another. You understand? In parallel Earths, things look different. But there'll still be some things that are the same. Like we could have similar type of trees. And it's also interesting how only certain trees grow in certain areas, huh? Or flowers and so on, and bushes. So there's another old map, 1597, possibly, but again, they don't quite know when they're logging these. And look at, we're seeing, there's California, and then we're seeing Tartarian buildings here. You see that? Tartarian, Septum, Quatum. And then there's waters connecting here to the water that's separating California from America. And we're seeing more land unveiled. In some of these maps I show you, it's just California as an island. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, somebody drew the conclusion about the Red Sea and having the redwoods in California, the redwood trees.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And they said that the elephant-like creature you saw could have been a mastodon, like the big mastodons.
Yeah, that's definitely what that is. And they're supposed to have gone extinct, right? Like mammoths, basically. Um, okay. So there's California, and this is often portrayed 1597 map. See, it's an island. And then what's in between is called Mar Vermelho. California Isle. So it's called Isla, which is a island. Okay. So then this is what we're going to be going into. You see this image right here? That's going to be Queen Khalifa and the people there that were holding on. They were the last ones to fall. The last ones to be conquered was California, you all. Angels and so on. So I'll let her tell you that story, you understand? You gonna say something, Gina? You good?
I was just looking at how they spelled California, and
Yeah.
they broke it down.
Ilia. California Isle. And then look at how they spell Mexico. Mexique. That's the true spelling of Mexico right there. Audiencia de Guadalajara, Nueva Mexiquea, California. So this is when they were together. Mexico and California were together. Unified all this, like Texas and all that. This is a map that we're seeing before they were invaded and taken over. Okay.
And then we do have a couple of questions when you're ready.
Yeah, questions. Go ahead, go for it.
So on the map that there had signs, the 9 signs, when did the other 4 signs appear? Could that have been after a major invasion, or perhaps the Spanish invasion prior to more lands of California sinking?
So what I'm seeing is a 9 because of the 9 in the video of orbiting to higher timelines, how we talked about how the number 9 is a prime number and it's our universe's number, right? So in that time space, it was a 9. But what happened is that as it expanded, Divine Mother is saying is that we needed to bring in more councils and more energy. So then it expanded into 10, 11, 12, and 13 councils. And then, which brings it in number 13, which is the dimension of Divine Mother and her womb space. So yeah, so it grew into that because time began to expand, or time became. After the fall of Atlantis, time came because there wasn't time before then, right? So as it expanded, it needed to grow into 12, 13. You understand? Does that make sense? Questions, comments?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it explains how the time
Mhm.
came into being, really,
Yeah,
because as the density happened, the time happened. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
And then, did those lands sink to hide the city of Cibola? That's considered the city of gold.
Yeah, so ask me the questions when I'm on the map. So what map is she talking about? This one? Because I won't know
It,
which map they're talking about.
yeah, they just said it. I
Oh,
believe
they
it
just
was.
said it.
Yeah, I believe
Maybe
it was
this one?
that one. Yeah, I believe it was that one.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, let's see. So ask the question again.
Did those lands sink to hide the city of Cibola?
Oh, this one right here.
Yes.
Hmm.
And Cibola, I know there's a legend about how it is a city of gold,
Mm-hmm.
from like the ancient, um, maybe Aztecs or ancient indigenous peoples.
Yeah. So on a regular map, what would this be here? Wouldn't this be like kind of Grand Canyon area? Like all this area here, right? So say like this is all dried up.
It could be Mexico. I'm not quite sure.
No, because it's right next to California. It's right next to it. Down here, this is like Texas, and then down here would be Mexico. Down here would be Mexico. California is right next, is parallel to the rest of the states. So I think this would be Grand Canyon, you all. And the city that you're talking about, Cibola? Then the
Yeah,
lands are
that would
moving.
make sense too to think it would be in Grand Canyon area because
Yeah.
we've heard of the gold that would have been there whenever they came over.
Yeah, so then also the lands have moved so much, right? Um, talking to the young pilot, right, Gina? What did the young pilot say? Say that the lands are always moving, that the waters are not still. He said the lands are not still ever, and that every flight is different in degrees. There's not one flight the same because we're in constant motion, he said. Proving again that we're lands floating on water, not a globe. So then we're gonna go into it in channel and figure out what happened here, and she'll explain to us. Let me pull up like a regular map just to get a visual of. Let's see a
Yeah,
map.
there's several more questions about this map, so that's
Yeah, keep
interesting.
going. Keep going with the before I move on. Tell me when I have them before I move on. That way we don't get confused. Go ahead.
Okay, so with that, is the Red Sea of California what we see now as the coast of California? And the lands on that map are traced in gold. For the California map is traced in gold.
Like the coast, like okay, is the Red Sea the end of California where it goes into Pacific? Is that what you're asking? No.
No, to the other lands. It's between the
Okay, let me pull
Pacific
it up.
coast.
Okay, let me pull it up and then explain that. So, okay, say that again.
So they're asking, is the Red Sea of California what we see now as the coast of California? Or because the lands on the map are traced in gold.
Yeah, so what's the coast of California on this map? Here. Like in California, would that be the left side or the right side of California? What's the coast?
That's a good question. I mean, because we know that there was an actual sea there and dried up.
It dried up. So I feel that those lands that are those valleys. They're the valleys to get into. Is this where Yosemite's at, you all? Is this Yosemite? Wait a minute. Because this is like Grand Canyon, like, areas, right? Like Arizona and like stuff like that, right? Okay. Now, here, is that Yosemite? I feel like it is.
It
Whoa.
looks like it would be the right area if the coast was on the left side.
Because if you cut the trees, this is what she was going to explain to you guys. It dries up the water, and when they cut the trees down, it dried it up and made it all dry, which then there's Yosemite and like all these forests there, right?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Whoa. So they were underwater because they were always throwing in water. They were always watering water in. Okay. That is crazy. Amazing. Okay, you guys get that?
Yeah, somebody said that in Fresno, we're close to that area where we were.
Yeah.
The Red Sea was to the right of it.
Yes. So that's
So
it. This is the Red Sea. And those are those valleys that you get to get, yeah, the valley. And
yeah,
that's why
some
it's farmland because it's so fruitful with water, right?
yep, that's exactly what some other people who live there are saying. They're saying the Central Valley of California on the right is where all the water was a long time ago that dried up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And then somebody else said that it seems like the canyon, seeing that area that you thought was the canyon, they think it is because there's the
It
Indian
is.
tribe's name on the land.
It is Navajo. It said Navajo on it. It does. Look right here. Wrong one. Right here. It says Navajo, but it's spelled Navajaks and Apaches. Apaches and Navajas. Apaches de Ixila. I'm getting, oh my God, angel bumps right now. So we have names of tribes basically here. Okay, all right, guys, we figured out California on that map. You guys understand that? Questions, comments? So that's what happened there, and she'll explain more to us.
Yeah, there's a few more.
Okay.
So somebody said that they used to live in California and they felt mingling of ancient organic and inverted energies. They loved driving along the stunning highway of the 101 coastline and the magical mist cloaked beaches. They could feel that and feel the energy of the sleeping guardians. Um,
Yes.
and then also they said, would it also be Death Valley in that area?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Wow, so these magical waters that were there dried out. And of course, it would turn into places like Death Valley. Hmm. Yep. Questions, comments?
Oh, I was just thinking, so if Death Valley was underwater, there's a tree there called the Methuselah tree. So would that tree have been an underwater tree? Or would
It
it
would
have
have been.
marked? Yeah.
It would have been. Yeah. They were like trees inside water, you could say. These giant trees. where like, you know, when you look, those of you who put shield your tree of life, like I've taught you guys, I've mentioned it in videos, but we really teach this in our courses, to protect your tree of life, because one, it's your tree, it's also your children's tree and your spouse's tree. And then this is also where you could start helping your twin flame if you're trying to manifest them. You could do the manifestation course of twin flame for that. And then when you look at your tree of life, it's often water around it. So then we would have the same similar kind of concept here with these giant trees. They would be waters. And that's why you see some of these islands, they look like cut off tree trunks, because they were actual giant trees and now they're short stumps, you know? They were in the oceans. Questions, comments?
Somebody said there's still an issue with water in California now.
Yeah. And there is, and it's like, but you're have tons of water to the left of you. Why? But it's mostly because they're trying to dry it out and burn it all the time, right? Those forest fires, just constantly doing
Yeah,
that on purpose.
and
Yeah.
and then somebody said on the east side of the Sierras was the Red Sea where it is on there, and
Mhm.
that's still the main water source to LA.
Yeah. So then there's still water there, technically. Mhm. Didn't Trump talk about something about, I don't know the details about that. I'm not from California. He said something about that they had created some kind of dam that was stopping the flow of the water, and he said that it was fixed. Did he say that, or what, they were fixing it so that California could get water? He said it was so dumb. He was like, dumb for them to do that, and he's like, it's so simple to fix. So those of you, do you know?
Yeah, I believe from my
Mhm.
memory, and they
Yeah.
can put in the chat, but there was some pipelines of the water, and there were people who owned that. They bought it and owned it, and they were keeping it closed because they didn't want to open it up. So they were trying to force them to open it up so that would quit blocking the waters. Because it could just be open, they just chose not to.
So then the cabal owns it, pretending they're people to keep it away. Okay. Whatever. We don't consent to you. All right.
They said that LA bought all the water in the east side of the Sierras, and they have pipes in every canyon.
Hmm. All right. We're good with this one? Questions, comments, Gina?
I think that's all that I see for this one.
And what about the other ones? Did we answer all the other ones?
It looks like we've answered all the other ones as well. And then somebody said on that one, Matt, again, nouveau was French for new, and
Yeah.
then Mexico. So they were kind of
Yes.
blending the words and languages there.
Yeah, they are. So then here we are, 1597 map. Same thing again. No Mexico. Mar.
Oh, somebody just said that yes, that Trump fixed it. It's flowing now. The waters are flowing there.
What? You're that is awesome. Yay. So hopefully, I mean, it takes time now that they have the water flowing, then you guys won't have those dried out seasons that you have no water. More tribes here. Zuni? Isn't Zuni from Africa? Is there Zunis in America? Zuni? Again, we're seeing, you know, you guys have Zunis over there. We have Zunis over here, it sounds like, too. All right, so then we're looking at this time, it is, this one's supposedly 1597, right? So then something has happened already there. Let's see, or it's happening. So it seems like they're already coming in there to California. And what she's saying is that she tries to like work it out with them. But she says once Yeshua passes away, all hell breaks loose is the way that we could explain that. And then every treaty or every agreement you could think of how they weren't going to abuse the California lands are done. And they're doing what they did to the other lands to California, and they're fighting them. They're protecting. Okay. Queen Khalifa said. Where are we? Here, this one? Just, oh yeah. Here's another one. Oh, but there's so many. This one has tons of them. Like, if we look here. Let me see what I can show here. What's this? Mar de California, right here. I call it a sea, an ocean. A mar is a sea. Not a lake, it's a sea. And then what are these little islands here? They're trees, aren't they? They're trees. Because they'd be dried out now. And I am sure I'm seeing that these are giant trees like Yosemite here that were floating in the ocean of the ocean of California is what they're calling it here. Okay. What is this? Mar del Sur. All the different depictions, you know, I'm sure they do their best to depict it, but how can you depict it, you know? Unless you're flying above. Unless you're on a griffin. I think it'd be easier if you're flying on a griffin, yeah? To depict them. That'd be nice. Here in this one, 1597, this is like Upper California, and then this is like Baja California, and map of the Californias. What year? Yeah, 1597. So this is getting later now.
Is it saying California's? Is it like two different lands of California?
Yeah. Higher and lower. And then even, yeah, all the way to the top. So you get to Oregon, it's still California there. This looks like Grand Canyon, Navajo. Okay. Questions, comments so far? We're gonna get ready to start channeling her. I'm gonna channel her at least for like 45 minutes.
Well, somebody said that there was a Zuni Native American tribe.
Oh, cool, cool. So then we have this one again, where California's an island, 1695. I think their years are wrong, but more the ones that we're seeing, it's like more unified. Those are the older years, closer to 1700, and then from 1500 to 1700, there is a sea between California and the rest of the Americas.
Well, when you were talking about Yeshua passing, somebody was saying that they were also seeing the time and the four celestial planets unveiling, that they think that Yeshua's passing is what led to us needing the other four astrological signs to assist with bridging us to the 13th.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. There he is. There that is. Okay. We're getting ready to channel, y'all. Okay, that's another map. A couple more. One was really cool here. Let me keep going. I just gotta show you a couple more, and we're gonna get started. Um, Again, there's a whole big island there. And this one's what? This one is
That one says Atlantis on it.
Oh, that's the one I was gonna show you guys. Exactly. Look at that, you all. We were called Atlantis at some point. Okay, so let me explain this. Why did they call us Atlantis? 1704. The reason why is because so Atlantis was in between here, right? So what happened was that when we started becoming when we became unveiled, they thought we were the Atlanteans back again, which we are. I mean, we are the new Atlantis, right? The Atlantis that sunk into the ocean. The Americas are the new Atlantis. We're leading the way. If you look at any kind of numbers of awakened people, the most are in America that are awakened. So that's pretty cool that they called us Atlantis then. I just wanted you guys to see that.
Oh, there's the name Bellatrix on there, if you remember the Harry Potter movies, but they call
Yeah.
it Bellatrix in like the Mexican area.
Machimos y est Bellatrix. Huh. Um. Yeah. What's this? It looks like Antarctica or something there. And if you look here, I mean, we don't even have like Alaska or parts of Canada unveiled yet here in this map. It's like more basically astrological signs needed to come in because of the two worlds expanded. And so that was our world right over here, and this is your world over here. So I could see how, like, okay, Atlantis fell to you guys, like the virus is spreading, right? It's crazy. And then a new land rediscovers, say, let's just say 1,000 years later. But again, time is really slow. In a time space where it's a higher density, like a fifth dimension, there's really going to be no time. But in your perspective, where you're falling because of the AI virus, there's time is for you guys, and it's slower. So to you, it could have been thousands of years. So then, say for like anywhere from 500 to, let's just say 500 to 1,000 years, you guys don't know what happened to the Atlantean peoples, right? So then you have a new land that's just unveiled, and you're like, you think it's Atlantis. You know that it's over this side, right? It's over there towards the Atlantic Ocean. So yeah, it makes sense on why did we call that? Yeah. So here we go, guys. We're Atlantis. What's up? In Americas, that's that. So that's the cool one I want to show you guys was Atlantis. And then there's two more that I had found. This is called Tierra de Fuego. Land. Oh, this is like deep. Land of Fire. Tierra de Fuego. So they're calling us the Land of Fire. So Carta de la Ameri. Oh, okay, so what year is this? And it's by 1713, they think it's made. And the title is, I forgot where they put it, but they put it somewhere. Land of Fire. Anyways, so here we are. And there is California again, separated. See that? This has tons of details though. It's like telling a story. Let's see. Okay, so then the men that were in the English area become, they spread out, right? They become like the Urbano Monte map, and they even go to the lands that are the circle of Antarctica. And they're basically kind of conquering lands, saying, oh, this section's yours, this is my section, this is your section, kind of stuff is happening. That's what we're seeing in the Urbano Monte map, 1570. Seeing these interesting kind of animals. These look like giants. Beavers. Ox. This is definitely a giant. Look how big he is. Bigger than an ox. Salt de Niagara. So Niagara Falls was already there, huh? In this time. 1713. So is it man-made? Do they claim Niagara Falls is man-made? Can you look into that? Let me know. Because, I mean, according to this, it's the natural thing. Natural waterfall.
It says it's natural, but that it is a younger type of waterfall that is believed to be around 12,000 years old. And they said it formed around the last ice age.
Okay. Yeah, so very natural. Okay. What is Niagara Falls? That's a good question. We're not channeling New York today though. So we'll have to figure that out later. These look like giants. So much details to this, right? So much. Animals. This one does look like some kind of indigenous have gone crazy. They're probably freaking out because the English are invading them. They're like, sacrifice.
Is that what that
Yeah,
pyramid tower is behind them?
yeah. They
Sacrificing?
are sacrificing in that time space. Eventually. And then that's, the whole dark shamans, the shamans pretending that they're good and they're not, and they're just possessed by demons, telling people, yeah, let's kill to save ourselves, humans turning against each other, betrayal. But then in their perspective, I can imagine like these new invasions coming in. We're looking at 1713. It's been 200 years since they came in. Yeshua's gone. Remember, we're looking at a map. Yeshua's gone, and the people are lost, and they're slaughtering. They're slaughtering. We'll call them the English, but the dark beings are slaughtering the humans, and they don't, they're being possessed. They're lower density. They have entities in them, and they think that maybe if we slaughter, it's gonna happen. What is up with this? This is a giant tree cut off here. Fort de Cap, Barbari. Where is that? Barbari. Where is that, Gina? Try to see if you can find that. Tataba. Tataba. Table. Teste de Leon.
Well, barbarie is a French word meaning savagery, like barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also something called the Barbary Coast off of North Africa.
And that looks like Africa, yeah. So there's some giant trees there that were cut off too. Nigriti. All right, and then the Congo.
Somebody said it looked like the giant tree you saw in there
Yeah.
was portaling water out.
Oh, it was. You're right. You're right. Yep. Exactly. Back to our confirmed theory.
Then somebody
Water.
said on this map, there's still stories of giants held up in the caves in the eastern sea areas of California.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they have saltwater lakes along the eastern side of California.
Yeah. There's definitely still giants. Even looking at this, look, guys, giants. Look how little these guys are that are trying to invade. Look how big they are. I mean, these guys are, look how tiny they are. I mean, these guys would be at least 20 feet, I would say, in comparison to them. Yeah.
Then somebody said Africa, where you were over there, there's a big star fort in
Yeah.
Africa area next to the giant tree.
Yeah. Star Fort, yeah, saw that here. So some of the alchemy that they used to keep, the virus out as long as they could out.
And then there's something what they call the Slave Coast on the map there.
Mm.
The Barbary Coast, I think Slave Coast as well.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I know we're on this map, but somebody had a comment that they just put about the other one. If you want to hear that.
Yeah, and then this looks like Antarctica here. You're looking at it? These tall beams, because it's at the bottom land. These lands here at the bottom. And this looks like, or unless they're pictures of what's going on. I'm trying to figure this out.
Did I say they're prisoners?
Yeah, prisioneros de guerra, prisoners of war.
Oh, it says they're sacrificing. Does that mean they're Is this some
Yeah.
sacrifice?
Uh-huh. So, they're sacrificing there. Yeah. So I can't even imagine the indigenous people, like how scary would it have been with all these like new people coming in and then it's just gone and then stuff starts getting dark. They turn on each other. That's the aura regression I just put out, you all, of the world next to us, the land next to us, nearest to the inner earth. And we don't know what years that is. I mean, I think it's like years ago. And it's all about like betrayal. They're betraying each other. And even just talking to people from who were around in the Nazi war. And the worst thing was them betraying each other, like the neighbors betraying each other, like families betraying each other, turning on against each other. It's that whole thing that we saw during COVID. We saw the people repeating again, betraying each other, outcasting each other, like telling each other, like, you didn't get the job. Oh, you're my friend for 20 years, but you didn't get the job. And now I'm going to tell you, you should go get in one of those cages that they were trying to put people in. What was that called again?
Like the camps and stuff?
Yeah, the camps. I forgot there was a name for it.
Concentration camps.
Yeah, but they had a different name for it. What was it called? I can't remember. It's like, yeah. So just showing kind of like habitanos de Islas Miranas de Loros. Tierra de Anton, Demians.
They were called quarantine camps.
Yeah. But I thought there was another name for it. But yeah, like COVID, I'm just trying to really erase it out of my life right now. But it's hard when I have to keep referencing it. So I forget names.
Yeah, somebody said re-education or FEMA camps too.
Yeah. That's what it was, FEMA camps. They wanted us in FEMA camps, right? It's the same thing. See, these people are going crazy right now. We're 1700s is going crazy, and that's exactly what I talked about right here. They don't know how to handle the shift that's happening. And it's not so good of a shift for most. What is that? Le Grand Bank. All right. I think there's one more. I want to show you guys, and we're gonna get started with the channeling. Even if we could get her to talk at least for 30 minutes, that'd be incredible. We'll see how far we can go here. This is 1720. Again, another image of Californian island. You guys good? Questions, comments before we just begin the channel?
Someone said on one of the maps there was something that said Ocean Septon at the North Pole, like 7 goddesses are connected to the Pleiades.
Yeah.
And then they're asking about Adama and if there's a connection on how he assisted Lemuria.
Yes, there is. And I saw the whole story. So we'll had that add that channeling. Because how did he get the people? We know they went through the mountains, but how did they get to the North Pole? Yeah.
Or
Question.
can you look at that map? It says California's Carolina?
Yeah, that's what they call it there. Yeah.
Like the Carolinas on the East Coast.
Yeah, they're calling Carolinas over here too. This is 1800 or no, 1720. See how you didn't really see any of like these cross stuff? Or no, that's not cross. But after this, it starts like at these maps of 1700. After Yeshua's passing, that's when you start seeing more of those maps that we showed in the past, where like the church is invading and then there's crosses everywhere. Yeah, after he's gone.
And they're saying they love the maps. Thank you for showing them. They're very active.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And then did they portal through the North Pole on the maps?
Yeah. Okay. So
Or maybe they're asking about the celestial
so they portal to the North Pole, they did. That's what Adama showed me, and he's gonna have to share the story for that and how they did that. Like through mountains, but not mountains, right? So Mount Shasta, is Mount Shasta really a mountain? Mount Shasta would be a tree, right? A giant tree. So if you go into the mountain, you're in another realm, another portal, another space. So how we talked about the goddesses, the return of the goddess of the Avalon, and how I said like inside there's a whole another world. You think it's a wall, but it's not a wall. You're going into a pocket, a space of another time of Earth. So if you are 5D crystalline, you could technically go into the walls of the mountains, and then you're in that world of the 5D. You understand? And then Goddess Donancy is going to talk to us, Ishtel, which should be the goddess coming up next. More on that in the Americas. There. Okay.
and then on a lot of the maps there were they guess kind of like the Tartarian buildings you pointed out.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know if on the maps all those buildings were already there during that time.
Yeah, so those were there
Tartarian.
because that's where the Last American comes in, you all, the 4 parts of Last American, where it was a world over here on this side, past, so we got Atlantis at the center, Europe, we're the other world of Americas. But what happened to those people? They got wiped out. Something happened to them. The fall of Atlantis, they were there like during Atlantis, but the fall of Atlantis has shifted everything. And then, right, they like died out. The sun, they needed to adjust to the sun. So much happened to them. What happened? And then the Last American explains that so they came into these already built buildings and temples, you know, some of these that are monuments, they're temples from Atlantis that are still standing, that were crystalline structures, but are now stone. Yeah, questions, comments?
I think that's all that I see for right now. Everybody saying thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll probably just be there 30 minutes, and I think we're gonna have to do part two, you all. Are you cool with part two? Let me know. Hit thumbs up if you want to do part two. Write it in the comments. What do you guys think? Because then she could go deeper into that. So I think, yeah, we spent a lot of time doing this. So let's see how far. So we're good with questions and comments? Yeah, I can begin,
Yes,
chat.
good.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, going in now. Let me start taking deep breaths. So we got a good visualization, which is what we needed so that she could explain the rest for us, okay? All right.
And then everybody's saying yes, part two. Yes to part two.
Yes to part two. All right, let's go. Okay. Sweet, sweet. All right, so, whoa. I love going into history like this and then looking at the data and like making it make sense, you know, like to understand it in our perspective, like, what really happened, right? Okay. So, I'm going channel now. Get ready now. Greetings. Greetings. I am Queen Khalifa. I am Queen Khalifa. I am Queen Khalifa. Whoa! How long is this wait for this line to channel? It's been a long time. Waiting and waiting for you to become a vibratory match for what I am about to speak about. What a joy it is to be here. Let's cut the BS, as you say it in your time and space. Let's remove it. We got no time for that. We got no time for egos. We got no time for none of that. I'm here to bring truth to you. I'm here to bring the realness that happened here. I am here to bring the legitimate information. So let's go with that. Yes, I was born in California. And yes, I am an angel. That I am an angel. Ah, yes, we rode griffins and yes, we rode dragons, but we were angels. We were angels. And we weren't just, as you call them now in your time space, black. We were of all races. It just happens to be that I was the queen and my indigenous roots were blacks, and then more of the lighter colors were in the other lands, and they were, say, smaller than us. Not yet, not quite. They're indigenous. They're the loving indigenous people of the lands, like the caretakers, so on. So there are all types of sizes, right? That Aura has explained to you over and over. And we were giants. We are those giants. Even now that you find those bones in California, that was us. So we were an island for a purpose. We were an island because it was protection. The waters around us, to get to us, they needed to get through our sea monsters. You could say we didn't have alligators, but like alligators in the water, you would need to get through them. Gators weren't over here, but there were water dragons, sea monsters, and we were a big island of sea animals are all around us, protecting our space. And we knew that you could visualize it. We like the illustrations to the book that Aurora showed you. They're really good. Griffins, they're so important. You had griffins in Asia, we had griffins here. And I'm speaking both from a time space of my now time space where it's happening, where I'm here walking among you in California. Remember, when you walk among me, we're still here. The magic is still here. It's just waiting for you to unleash it. But then I'm also speaking from this higher version of me, this higher self version of me. So going through, and let's see where I want to go because there's so much to talk about. All right. So we'll begin from my birthing. We angels birth from eggs, just like dragons birth. And that is me. I am birthing. I have a mother and a father who have these different forms. Like when you look at us, we are seraphim angels. So we're dragon and angels at the same time. And that's what I was, seraphim angel, dragon, and my feet were like griffin claws or bird claws, eagle claws, phoenix claws, big wings. And I see my mother and father, they're giant as well. They have me in a creational angelic egg. And then this is Lumerian times, by the way, so you could understand the magic I'm speaking about. So then the egg hatches, and here I born as a little baby, but a little angel baby, but grow into an adult, as you would call it now. And here we are. And I was born in a time of Lumeria. So I was born in a time of before the fall of Atlantis. So if you were looking at zero is a marking point of the fall, before zero of the marking point of Atlantis, there was no time, let's just say hundreds of years before the fall, and then you're at zero, and then here we are. We're looking at, we say, right, 1500, but remember that J is not a 1, it's a 500 years after the fall of Atlantis. Yeshua is born, goes into 1633. So I'm here hanging out over here in California. We're having a good old time. We're also veiled. We're also, we're all these gods and goddesses. We all get along. I mean, we're in Lemuria. It's no fall that virus hasn't reached us, because when the fall happened, it created like this protective force field to us to keep us from going down with the AI virus spreading over here in Europe and Asia. So then we're veiled, we're protected, right? So all these hundreds of years. Then you have goddess Cleopatra, the goddess of that went by. The goddess A.U.R.A that went in and started to seed all the Mayan temples to start preparing it for your coming in the future, because we know that we have to unify with you to not let you fall down. So then we have us over here in California. We have the angels that are flying and soaring in the skies. In your lands, there's still angels that are flying around, but in our land, they're free. We're free. And perhaps we could reference the movie Maleficent Part 2, we believe, where there was like angels, hundreds of them. And they're in these beautiful, like, both in skylands and down in caves, so on, that only where the us beings with wings can reach. There were floating lands too. There wasn't just lands like in the water. There was lands floating above too, that had a high amount of a metal that floats for you. They use it. So had these lands had high amount of gold, one, and then there is a metal that they use invertedly to make levitate the spaceships. So then these lands that had these high amounts would float up. Sometimes if you look at our lands now, like from our time space before, we're looking at this from before the fall right now, and these lands, like they're moving, and so then if this land is a high amount of this metal that has levitating, Mercury, Mercury levitate, the mercury inside the lands levitates it, brings it up, and then so you'll be like, say you're a being and you're walking on these lands, you call them now the states, and all of a sudden this chunk of land has become so light that it just it unattaches from the lands, and then it floats, and it's floating. So then we angels, Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles, the angels, we would go to these different lands above, and like that movie Maleficent 2, like that, and just kind of have our own worlds there too. It was really magical here. These lands are veiled now, and they can't find them because they're 5D crystalline, just like Mercury when you see it in a mirror. So the Mercury within the lands that are floating are veiling it, because when you look at Mercury in a mirror, a 3D mirror, like as A.U.R.A has taught you, there's no reflection, so then you can't see it, but technically they're still floating above you. So then those are the lands that A.U.R.A has been talking to you about. Tartaria, the lands that kind of unchunked, became very high in oscillation vibration, and now they were floating. Okay, so yes, they're floating all above all the states, several of these lands still, but in our space they still are. In your space they're invisible, understand? So crystalline in our space. Okay, so then from there we could see through all of it. We could see the dark sorcery coming in. We had the giants, as A.U.R.A has explained to you, the Antarctica Tertiary series, how the giants were there in the Carolina. And that's why when you saw on the maps, they were called Carolina years too, because we were giants too. Just like, so we were the giants over here on the left. And then here on the right of the Carolinas is when they invaded. And that goes back to your, what were those videos where they went into, was it World War history erased, or the reset of Tartaria, part 1 and part 2, where they came in. Okay, so we had giants on both ends, but we also had giants too in other parts. I mean, we're spread all over, but we had a fort type of energy on the edges of the Americas. Ooh, let's go back to when it's starting to unveil. Oh my goodness, what a time. Okay, so you understand the Lemuria, the magic, right? questions so far?
I think everybody's just really excited. So thank you so much for being here and speaking with us today. We've all been so excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So from our time and space, we are fully telepathically talking to you. I am sitting on a gold throne, not because I'm on a pedestal or high horse. Use your language again. It's just because California was gold, and that's why we had high amounts of gold, and the same for Mexico had high amounts of gold. So what does that mean? That it was high, very high vibrational land to be having the gold inside of it, which basically the land is made out of gold. The land is the gold. That's why the gold is inside.
That's interesting. We've been told about there being a gold rush where people would rush to California to find gold, but there wouldn't be any.
Aha. Yes. Exactly. So yes, thank you for the ads. Just see like this line here, the line from California down to Mexico is a serpent. It's a serpent dragon. Serpent dragon. Oh, so beautiful. She's huge. She's still there. Huh. We would talk to her. She's a goddess. Goddess. Goddess dragon. We won't share her name because it was sacred like Lumerian language. But there was her name. She has a name. And she dances alongside that line. She is the edge of the beach. She's where the water meets the ocean of all parts of that side of the California down to Mexico. Ooh, big energy, wow. Ooh. I just wanted to explain to you how beautiful she is, because she was, okay, what was her purpose? So Aurora was asking me, what was her purpose? So her purpose there was to keep the ring of fire going. The ring of fire of the volcanoes going there. Oh, she's kept them alive. So in our time space, she's alive, right? And moving, her energy's moving. You could flow even when you, so in our time space, when you're looking at the edge of California facing the Pacific Ocean, if you step foot in between the ocean and the sand, her energy's there. It's like you're walking into a dragon. And you have to be a vibratory match, of course, but we're Lumerian, so we're good. You know, we're not at the fall of Atlantis yet. And it's like walking into a cave, into like Divine Mother cave, but it's a dragon cave. And you're in a whole nother realm when you walk into the in-between of the water, and the sand. And that in between. Understand? Questions, comments?
Yes, we understand. Thank you so much. Let's see if there's any other comments or questions. Somebody asked about the Mercury and the lands. Does it cause the Earth to more easily have earthquakes that they exploit for their dark purposes?
No, that's just negative technology. There's natural quakes, but they're not man-made. They're just vibration and oscillation of the land that needs to vibrate into a higher state or shake off some fleas. Like a dog shakes them off. She has to shake them off too. Yeah. So then she'll shake it up a little bit. And it's a whole part of the movement of the water and the lands, how the water's always moving on the waters. The lands are always moving on the waters. Okay, I'll continue.
Yes, please. Thank you. That's all we have for now.
Okay, from there, so I come out. Okay. It's beautiful. So if you could imagine all of California, all angels. It's all angels. This is why the trees, these giant trees, and the dried up part is definitely confirming it for you is Yosemite. And then that had a giant tree there that was an angelic tree that was our home, and this is where we portaled in the angels. We portaled in like or I was showing you the tornadoes, the center. We portaled in through a wormhole there and portaled into the tree into these lands. And we didn't just stay here. Of course, we flew in Grand Canyon and different areas as well. But this is why California is being targeted through the Hollywood and the pedophilia, because and then all the false information on angels to make you make their artificial intelligence matrices, and then you to feed their pedo violations with their movies to indoctrinate and program humanity. But that curse has been broken. You've been breaking it. Definitely has been broken. He now in the year of the serpent, another year of the dragon. Last year was the year of the dragon, like the traditional dragon. This is the year of the serpent dragon. Okay, because she does get her wings. The snake does get her wings in ascension. The travel of her, the way that she grounds, the serpent grounds the energy into the earth and is constantly healing the lands through her double helix swivel motion spirals. As she swivels and spirals in the lands, she will get her wings. And this is part of the Mayan teachings. Those when did you know that? Oh, did you know that the serpents, when they reach in Lumerian, when they reach certain say age, but not that there was time, but they would grow wings. And in the Mayans, this is why you see those serpentine, they would turn into dragons, like the snakes would turn into dragons with their wings. So beautiful to see that sight. And that is what that energy is there. It's a giant serpent with wings. She'll get her wings eventually. When we ascend, she ascends out. She's unifying and balancing the energy there. Okay. What else do you not know? Let's see. Water.
Someone is asking, are there any earthquakes in California? This beautiful dragon goddess is assisting to balance and transmute with the inversions.
Yes, the ones that are minimum, or even like some that they don't even realize that they happen, but you know that it shook. Those are more the natural ones. So yes, we're shaking it up. And then we're also shaking it up from our time space that is vibrating out to your time space. And as we do that, it's like a blanket of magic that's pushing through. As it shakes off, this energy is coming out from the dragon that's holding the space there. And then she's our bridge from our time space, bridging it to you time space. And then the energy comes out and then it shakes it up a bit. Okay. Questions? How we doing?
Yes, there's a couple more questions. Is the dragon that we're speaking of connected to the Red Sea in California?
So say that again. Is the dragon?
Yes. Is the dragon that we're speaking of connected to the Red Sea in California?
Yes, but it's more towards Pacific side. And then there is a Lady of the Lake here. In those lands, you felt her when you went to Yosemite National Park in Sequoia. There's a Lady of a Lake there that was wow, that was so your Lady of the Lake, our Lady of the Lake, and she was a guardian of the waters, of the angelic waters that were protecting the angel giant trees. So another divine mother figure guarding there. She's magical, like a benevolent enchantress made out of the water, but also the elements, and she could just form out of the water. Like if you went and talked to her, she would form out of the water, and then she could also form into, like with the leaves and butterflies and soil, bark, but mostly water would come together for her to speak to you. And then we want to talk about, so this is all the beauties that was veiled, right? This is what was behind the mist that the English couldn't get to. This is all of this beauty that was happening then. What else? What other kind of magic can we share here? We're preparing. We know that they're coming, and they have to come because it was written in the stars before the fall of Atlantis. The goddess from Atlantis that started creating all the pyramids everywhere in the Americas and South Americas. She's telling us about the coming of him, and that when he's gonna come, we're gonna have to prepare. Do we know how they're gonna react? We kind of know because all sorts of craziness is happening with the AI virus and the Merlin and Dark Sorceress and its Enchantress, its Skinwalkers. Dark stuff's happening over there. So we know that they're going to try to take the magic and violate these lands and the people and the magical creatures. But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay because Yeshua is going to be leading the way, the voyage, you could say, as AuroRa explained to you at the beginning. So, but we are warriors already, because it's just part of who we are, because we're angels, we're guardians of the universe and multiverse. So we're warriors of all life. So that is beautiful. Do you have any idea what it felt like to feel Yeshua being born on Earth? Tears. Everyone was crying. Everyone was crying, tears of joy. You could feel him. You could feel him. Everyone could feel him. We could feel him because we were still 5D. You know, all that craziness stuff was happening over there with you all. We could feel him is coming. And it's like we're all sitting at the edge of our seats and we're feeling all the stars unifying, and the stars and the suns are unifying. Every single sun, you call them galactic suns. Every single star of creation aligned in that moment. And he was seated by God's hands and carried in by God's hands through the birthing of Mother Mary in Jerusalem, because it was so dark already then, and he had this infinite protection, and we all held the space. We were all the, say, doulas and midwives. We were holding the space of his coming, and all our divine God hands protected him, and we all knew when he was coming in that moment. And it was like we were all birthing him too. You could feel it in our hearts, this energy that was birthing out of our hearts. This is the most beautiful feeling we've ever felt on Earth. And he saved us all. In no savior mentality, but he saved us all. He saved us all. His beauty. His beauty. Oh. It's like looking at a shooting star. That's what he was, a shooting star. Ah, a piece of, he'll share more with you in those 133 years, but he was a piece of a Christ consciousness star that birthed out, went into Mother Mary's womb, and there she birthed him out, and he's literally glowing when he's birthing. Did you know that Yeshua glowed? Did you know that? He glowed. His skin glowed. I mean, how do you hide him glowing? But that Merlin fought, and he'll tell you that story.
Wow, you have this all in tears. I was in tears. Thank you for sharing.
Ah, yes. Whew. Beautiful time. If you haven't remembered, go back. Most of you, the majority of you who are listening and are here, period, though, on Earth, you were here when he was born. Whether you were on this side of the world or that side of the world, you were here. And he was not just born in your world, he was born in all the other parallel Earths in different ways. But I tell the story of your world, of Europe and Jerusalem. And that is why that horrible target in the Israeli lands, Islamic lands, whatever you could call them, whatever, they're Yahshua's lands. Get out of there. You're not allowed there. You entities, you're not allowed there. Get out of his lands. Get out of the Christ consciousness lands. You are not allowed. Your curses are breaking. They're breaking. The people are waking up. Nastiness is not allowed there, nor do we consent to you there. And your wars, get out. And we're going to leave it in a cliffhanger, because in the next video we are going to talk about what happens when Yeshua crosses over and the mist is cleared. But we will allow for you to ask any questions you'd like, all prior to Yeshua's coming and his birthing. Before his coming here, what happened? Any questions before his coming? Tell us.
While we wait for them to add the questions, somebody mentioned about the winged serpent that you spoke of. It seems like it would be similar to Quetzalcoatl that they have in the Mexican and Hispanic South American lands. Would that be similar to what they saw?
Yes, that's her. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right now, everybody is just in awe of the message, especially everything you shared about Yeshua.
Yes.
So before he was born, on this side of the worlds, the worlds were still veiled, still kind of in the 5D, and then on the other side they had the virus going on. Was
Yes.
it you could feel the heaviness from there, but was it more of a feeling of there's hope that there's going to be change for the whole world, that you knew something was going to shift and change in a specific time?
Yes. So our goal was to save all the dragon father. This whole time, the mother dragon has been trying to save her twin flame father dragon. That's why we couldn't give him. That's why we couldn't give up. She couldn't give up, obviously. We can't. It's not their whole, you know, they're together, they're Pangea together. It's not gonna happen. She can't give up on him ever. He won't ever give up on her. Why would she give up on him? So it was Yashua who came to save the dragon. Thank you for your questions. This whole time has been to reunite the two dragons back together, and they're back together. His Lionsgate 2020-25 has united their hearts together. Questions, comments? We're gonna conclude this.
There are some more personal questions, but I think that maybe for next time, it might be more appropriate.
I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you.
It has really been such an honor. Thank you for all that you shared. Our hearts are all expanding with this information, and I know Yeshua will share more and you'll share more, but thank you so much for bringing us this today. You could feel the love and the hope that you had in that time and space and how it's all unveiling. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you, honor you, respect you. Thank you. I am Queen Khalifa. I am Queen Khalifa. I am Queen Khalifa. I am equal to you. I am thankful for you. Thank you. I love you, honor you, respect you. Thank you. Yeah. Quite powerful. Wow. Okay. A mess. A crying mess. So
And everybody's saying
yeah.
we won't ever give up on Divine Father.
Yes. I mean, because you could have just detached, right? You could have just detached, but all those videos make sense, you all. Wow. And then it goes to book 2, you all. Those of you who read book 2. And do you remember the attack from the AI and how it attacked Father? So then it attacked him inside the earth. Wow. Yeah, so then same thing. Like in the universe, it attacked him, this inverted God, and then so then that repeated here with the Merlin Dark Sorcerer to attack the dragon. Yeah. Questions, comments? We're gonna finish up here.
Wow, that's incredible. It puts it into complete perspective there.
Yeah.
There's several questions that would be better for next time, but I love this comment. Thank you for your beauty and sacred information being shared today to Queen Khalifa.
Thank you. I love you all. All right, put on some music after this, dance it off. Thank you for being here to hold the space, whether you were live or you're watching this later. To support this and all that I do, go to Rising Phoenix Mystery School or practitioners.com, where you could also find practitioners there as well. I'll see you guys next time. We should be airing it somewhere along the way. I may probably in about 2 weeks or 3, the part 2. All right, I'll see you till then. Share this video as far and wide as we can before we end the subscribe and hit like. I love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna go.